Do I have a fine to pay?
Mr. Markham.
No, I have a fine. Am I under arrest? Every time I need someone here,
that's how we
you
roll.
never show up. Am I going under arrest? If I am, let's go. If I'm not, then leave me the f*** alone.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. Today's story is in collaboration with John Bryan, the civil rights lawyer. John and I have worked together on a few things, and he is a remarkable attorney. Today's case comes out of Brooke County, West Virginia. On August 24th, 2021, a 911 call was made to complain about a neighbor's dogs. They alleged that the dogs get out often and are aggressive and had consumed 20 of their chickens. Multiple deputies responded to the scene.
I don't know if anybody lives in the house anymore or not. I know they had moved out and moved in with her mother up the street, but they have 3 German Shepherds, and two of them jumped the fence today and came after my niece. They're very aggressive. If she didn't have treats in her hand, I think the dog would have ate her, honestly. So I screamed for my husband to get his weapon, and because they were coming over into our yard. What are you doing? And it ended up eventually going out the end of the road.
After hearing the complaint, the deputies drove to the residence of Mr. Markham to address the allegations. Mr. Markham met the deputies in his driveway as they approached.
Markham. Markham. Wendell, are you Wendell?
Yep. My dog got out, it ran around the fence, and it came right back in. Didn't hurt anybody, didn't hurt anything. I talked to the dog catcher, so what's the problem? My dogs are licensed, they're kept in every day. The only reason they got out today is because I was home.
They're getting out, that's what
they're not getting out, they just got out today.
No, they
okay?
don't.
What did they do? What did they do wrong? Tell me. Do I have a fine to pay?
Mr. Markham.
No, I have a fine. Am I under arrest?
No, we're trying to address the complaint.
Well, no, because every time these motherfuckers call you guys, you get 4 cars come out here. Every time I need someone here, you never show up. So listen, am I going under arrest? If I am, let's go. If I'm not, then leave me the fuck alone. Because I didn't break no law.
Talking like that, you're going to go to jail.
I can talk however I want.
No, you can't.
It's called freedom of speech.
No, you cuss again, it's disorderly conduct.
Then leave me. Get off the property.
No, we are here to address a complaint.
You know, you're addressing their complaint.
I'll talk to them.
As Mr. Markham was not under arrest or being issued a citation, his request for the deputies to leave should have prompted them to kick rocks.
The dogs are harmless. They are. They love kids. We have kids. We got 2 3-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Kids every day.
They would never hit a
3-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And those kids get on their backs and ride. Those dogs would...
motherfucker said
You're under arrest. Disorderly conduct. No.
Property.
Get out now.
No.
Get out now. You're going to get tased. I'm telling you right now. Get out now. Get out. No. He's under arrest. Get out. I don't give a shit.
At this point, the deputies placed Mr. Markham under arrest for using expletives on his own private property, while trespassing and using similar expletives themselves. This is perhaps one of the boldest representations of fascistic tyranny, especially cruel as during the arrest, Mr. Markham was taken to the ground and tased 3 times for resisting an unlawful arrest. The struggle resulted in multiple abrasions and other injuries to his person. Once he was placed in the deputy's cruiser, the deputy spoke with one of Mr. Markham's relatives.
So what happened?
Complaint that German Shepherds were jumping the fence.
Yes, there's 2 German Shepherds.
Right.
I seen them there.
So we were coming here to address the complaint.
Okay.
Cussing, advising to stop, it's disorderly conduct.
Why is he there?
I'm trying to tell you that.
Is he arrested?
Yes.
Okay. Let me call the lawyer.
Go right ahead. Do you want to hear the rest of the story or no?
I don't give a shit.
Look, have a good day.
5, 2, 3.
Let's go. We're leaving. We're done dealing with all this shit.
Again, Mr. Markham was arrested for swearing on his own private property. This deputy just committed the same offense again while trespassing. Mr. Markham was subsequently charged with resisting arrest and disorderly conduct. However, his attorney, Alex Rizovich, was able to have the case dismissed, and now it's time for civil action. After the dismissal, Mr. Markham's defense attorney forwarded the incident to the civil rights lawyer to help with the case. Allow me to introduce John Bryan to explain more aspects of the incident.
In general, most states have a breach of the peace law that criminalizes certain speech and conduct, including the use of swear words, obscene or abusive language in a public space. In 1971, the U.S. Supreme Court held in Cone versus California that offensive or vulgar speech that was not directed at a person or did not cause a violent reaction could not be interpreted as disturbing the peace. In 1974, the Supreme Court in Lewis versus City of New Orleans reversed a conviction under a Louisiana statute that provided that, quote, it shall be unlawful and a breach of the peace for any person wantonly to curse or revile or to use obscene or opprobrious language towards or with reference to any member of the city police, because the state might seek to use the law to convict people for words that were merely vulgar or offensive and which were therefore protected by the First and 14th Amendments. It was found to be overly broad and invalid on its face. So the Supreme Court struck down a law that said you couldn't curse in your conversations with police officers. West Virginia specifically does have a breach of the peace statute. The West Virginia breach of the peace / disorderly conduct law says, number one, the person has to be in a public place where he, number two, disturbs the peace of others by, quote, violent, profane, indecent, or boisterous conduct or language. And number three, is requested to desist by a law enforcement officer and refuses. Can the other person be the law enforcement officer who is disturbed? No. There is actually a West Virginia case directly holding that the police cannot be the other person whose peace is being disturbed. There has to be some other citizen around to hear the interaction, to hear the swear words, and then complain about it. Somewhere in their experience or in their training, this officer, Brooke County Deputy Niles Klein, believes that he was acting within his authority to arrest this man just for using swear words during their interaction, even though he's standing on his own private property of his residence in a non-public area. That brings up the law on warrantless arrests. In West Virginia, police officers can make a warrantless arrest if they have probable cause to believe that a crime was committed and that individual was the one who committed the crime. Now, for misdemeanor crimes, the crime must have been committed in the officer's presence. Otherwise, they have to go to a judge and obtain an arrest warrant first. A police officer may not perform a warrantless arrest of a subject in their home. An arrest warrant is required. That's the important fact here. Here, he wasn't actually inside the home. He was first in the driveway and then in the yard when they actually took him into custody, as shown by the video. Does that matter? Well, the 1980 Supreme Court of the United States case of Payton versus New York held that absent exigent circumstances, an arrest in the home or curtilage area around the home must be accomplished by means of an arrest warrant. If the resident asks officers to leave, they are required to leave unless they have a warrant or exigent circumstances.
There was no warrant and certainly no exigent circumstances, and Mr. Markham had told the officers to leave.
You cuss again, it's disorderly conduct.
Then leave me. Get off the property.
No,
we have no reason to be here.
They didn't have any right to remain on his property. There can be no doubt that curtilage includes a fenced-in yard and immediate driveway. There just can be no doubt.
In John's video, he goes into much more detail about the laws discussed here and dives deeper into the tasing. He explains in detail why tasing Mr. Markham is excessive force and what the next step in the lawsuit is. I highly recommend that if you haven't yet, visit the Civil Rights Lawyer's channel to view more about this case. There are tons of other videos that involve incidents that he has and is currently representing. If you pay him a visit, be sure to let him know I sent you. As always, thanks for watching. If you have a video you'd like to submit for review, use the link in the description or pinned comment. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification for future content. And remember to like, share, and comment down below of what you think of this interaction. It really helps the channel. If you enjoy our content, try our other channels, Lackluster Limited for criminal psychology content, and The Odd Side for paranormal videos. Shirts and other merchandise are available at the Teespring store. Memberships start at just $1 if you'd like to help further support the channel and get a slick Lack logo next to your name. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. All links are down below.